Hello, it's a beautiful Monday up a mile high. It's your mile high priest, kings and queens, magicians, high priests and high priestesses. It's your highest court, and I'm your jester with the message for the collective. I wanted to do a midweek check-in while the moon ends its transit through Gemini. It's about to dip into the sign of Cancer and it's a very slow moving moon. Generally it takes anywhere from like a day and a half to like 2.5 days. So this moon is leaning more into the latter, more or a longer transit through Cancer. And while I always attempt to remind you that the moon transits are more fleeting, they do tend to highlight and sort of shift moods and mentalities. So never really the most grounded, but there come some messages that are perhaps enlightening you or like tugging at you. And in the pre-shuffle I used the animal spirit, the well-done animal spirit for the pre-shuffle, and the hummingbird came through. Mercury Retrograde in Taurus, very earthly sign. Mercury is a very airy planet. So I believe the hummingbird is a very airy symbol or spirit as well. But it does perhaps bring us a little bit of the balance, and more so how to blend the earthly aspects of this transit with the mercurial airy aspects or vibrations. So very, 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 very cool. I have been getting the like a lot of the energies and vibrations that are coming through are Six of Cups, Seven of Pentacles, and Eight of Pentacles, as well as the Two of Pentacles energies. So again, the hummingbird is a really good Two of Pentacles energy in this case, as a means of like balancing and bringing two seemingly opposite forces together, or opposite thoughts, opposite feelings. It is a very wonderful, enthusiastic, and creatively inspired energy. So it does also highlight spirituality. So it could be that a lot of you are making the decision to perhaps begin a more refined journey in your spiritual transitional phase or spiritual ascension phase. Everyone is always in a different part or different aspect or different phase of spirituality, and I enjoy that, and like to remind everyone that not everyone is in the same place as you, so there's no good in comparison, but more so this message is highlighting that there could be a inspiration to delve in a little bit deeper, or go, actually some of you may have just made the decision to begin spiritual practices. All of that is obviously it's in good divine timing, and you should, the hummingbird tells us that you should definitely run with those energies or take on those sorts of flights. The time being very led by Mercury retrograde, it does allude to the Six of Cups with a lot of past memories, and that's a good or the hummingbird and the Two of Pentacles vibrations tell me that you should be, you are being advised to sort of receive those memories as inspiration. You've moved on from the past, but it's not always the easiest to forget the past, but use those memories to push you along your journey. And it may be that there are multiple journeys in your life, and that is all great. And so it's not necessarily about allowing those memories to upset you or lose faith in yourself, or like cause you to lose faith in yourself. It is more so reminding, it is more so like the astrological time and spiritual energy. It's meant to remind you and to take time to review where you are at and your plans and your goals. And also, in that review, create room for this growth that you want to experience. And perhaps you are also wanting to take on a course or be, maybe you're not so much creative or artistic, but you are being led to be a little bit more creative. And so Mercury Retrograde does give us room to breathe that in, take that in, and figure out means or ways of doing that in a more practical sense, like in a lower cost manner, or take lower cost approaches. A lot of you can take on a lot of new physical activities, like you can practice at home, or align a space in your home to give you the room to exercise or work out. Also, you could, on the other hand, you can also reassess your budget and look to find cost-effective ways to approach activities like joining a class for creative pursuits, joining a gym, joining a yoga studio. Later, as time progresses, this, I get the like look ahead and look forward to these types of new undertakings. But it's more so important for you to create the room and the space, and to create an actual like budget or space in your budget for you to become more serious about spending time and money and resources on these efforts. So right now, it could be that you don't even like have those resources. So find ways of supporting yourself with at-home practices, and there are creative means to become more creative. There are low-cost means to become more physically active, or just active in general. And there are also many avenues for you to expand your knowledge in your mind, and all of that the hummingbird supports. It's really kind of teetering and figuring out creative ways to be creative, and to align to a more artistic or spiritual approach. And then as you start to get more serious about your practices, you can actually spend time and money or resources to take a class. Or it is also, like I said, a good time to reassess your situation and your resources and finances to sign up for a course later on, figure out what courses you may be interested in, and then figure out a way to actually budget those in, because the energies, like I said yesterday, or in the previous read, they'll start to pick up, and you'll be able to actually sort of like multitask, and then also spend your time on taking courses like that, because right now it's almost like, is there really even time for you to get into that? So it's okay to right now just create the space for it and start to realign and reassess. It's a good review time, but Spirit does encourage you to remain enthusiastic, especially, and this spiritual this motivation that you have towards becoming more spiritually aligned is pretty well supported by Spirit as well. Beautiful card. Perhaps a lot of you got the message yesterday or this weekend. There was a lot of like throat chakra messages about like grounding. So it could be that you guys are focused on like really grounding yourself, like the highlight of the hummingbird's throat in red. It alludes to like figuring out the how and the why. Like why are you seemingly so loud and talking over others and over Spirit? Because Spirit has really, really good messages coming to you. Let's actually get into a shuffle before I go on for hours and hours. Alrighty, y'all. Y'all only made me a little teary-eyed. So if I'm like sniffling nose, like, okay, let's get over that. Before the pre-shuffle, the dolphin was at the bottom of the deck. The dolphin is at the bottom of the deck after the shuffle. Earlier I did a personal reading for myself, and the dragonfly did come through. And as I was doing the pre-shuffle, when the hummingbird came through for that initial pre-shuffle message, the dragonfly was actually the first card that came out. So I was hesitant to keep that card because it had already come up for me. So I redid the pre-shuffle just to make sure that I was aligning the energies correctly to the collective message rather than a personal message. But sure enough, Spirit works in wonderful and mysterious and expansive ways. And so the dragonfly is, it's back. And, and it does it does have a lot to do with really feeling like you're busy, feeling like you're really busy. There's a need for you to actually step away from the busyness. The Four of Swords showing up at the bottom of the Animal Tarot deck. And then we do have two swords cards in reverse. We have these beautiful birds, the Nightingale, the Knight of Swords, and the Crow, the King of Swords, in reverse. Right now, with the Knight of Swords, Spirit showing up in reverse. Spirit is attempting to give you a message, but there is a block because right now the need is for you to pull back from your daily activities and the hustle and the bustle, for you to receive the message. The Knight of Swords also, in reverse, also is an acknowledgement that it is difficult at the moment. It may seemingly be difficult for you to take a break, but knowing that if you don't allow yourself to take a break from too much, from doing too much, from exerting too much energy, from too much people pleasing, it could cause burnout. It could lead to burnout. So knowing that you could incorporate some breaks throughout the day, small breaks, small breath work breaks, or breaks to just do a few minutes of meditation, and then perhaps pulling back at nighttime and allotting yourself, even a little bit of time before bedtime to withdraw and put down the medias and the technology, and actually take time to just be alone and be in solitude and be in a quiet space. We're getting into it, okay? And then with the King of Swords in reverse with the Crow, the message could be more aligned with where you need to focus. Spirit is attempting to send you the message of where you can place your focus, for you to relieve a lot of the stress, and for you to move on. Perhaps you're feeling stuck, and that does have a lot to do with timing, especially with these two cards in reverse. It is that something out of your hands could be causing that feeling of being stuck, but in allowing yourself time to meditate and to be in solitude and find quiet time for yourself and meditation time for yourself, that could relieve you a lot of that opposite kind of the message that I'm getting is that you are tending to overload yourself and your schedule. Like, you're tending to be more busy because you feel stuck. So your answer and your response and your reaction to feeling stuck is like, do more. Try to get everything on your to-do list finished and fast and furious. But that is not allowing the message of spirit to come through. And the dragonfly spirit does beckon those questions like, do you actually have clarity of mind? I want to refer to Kim Kranz's writings. When the dragonfly card appears, it's worth considering the quality of your mind. So, I mean, we have the Four of Swords, the Knight of Swords, and the King of Swords, all cards that refer to mental activity and mentality. And then we have the dragon. I mean, we have two air cards. A lot of the reason you could be feeling stuck is just due to astrological timing. I know especially some big, and I don't really want to call anyone out, but there are some big YouTubers with large following, like big tarot card, popular tarot card readers with big followings that tend to subtly dismiss astrology and the climate when it comes to planetary aspects. But seriously, there are just some times when the planets are not gonna, it's not that they're working for you or against you, it's just that it's like the weather, like it's like the actual earth weather and climate. Like I mean, I could go on and on about like, maybe you looked at the weather map and in 2 days, just because of the qualities of the climate in this time, it could very well just change dramatically and cause your plans to be overridden, and that is essentially a manner of viewing astrology, that there just are certain road bumps along the way during particular aspects. Okay, it doesn't mean like you can't do it, but sometimes it means that like you're gonna have to fight. And like right now, these two cards in reverse are telling me, is the fight worth it? Because if you continue to fight, you're gonna cause, it may not even be that you're feeling burnout, it may be that you're causing others to be burnt out, because you're like obviously a leader with these two cards showing up. You're very much a leader in your own right, whether you work alone, whether you're like someone who manages themselves in a creative field, or whether you're someone who manages or leads a huge group of people. Like you may come off as way intensely aggressive, and you may turn people off that are actually attempting to help you. And that's one of the main messages from Spirit, is that there is, especially with the offering card, there's a message that's trying to come through from a higher spiritual source. And it could very well be that you, with the King of Swords in reverse, it could very well be that there's a teacher, a mentor, or a teacher that you know you're looking for. You're looking internally, in a subtle, simmering, bubbling manner. You're wanting guidance as you truck along your spiritual path and your spiritual journey. You've put that out into the universe. You're seeking spiritual guidance, and Spirit is actually attempting to bring you a teacher, a mentor, in some way, shape, or form. It doesn't have to be like a human person, but it very well could be. It'll be different for everyone, right? Or different for some groups of people. Anyway, the dragonfly asks, it's worth considering the quality of your mind and perception. Are they restless or still, dreamlike or crystal clear? The situation at hand may be different than it appears at first glance. Calm the mind so the light of wisdom can shine through. Okay, and then, oh my gosh, the intensity. I just want to remind you that you are very well on your way. Like, you're on a path, you're on a spiritual path. So what if these times you're experiencing a sense of stuckness and roadblock? Like, you need to take this time to like give yourself room to breathe. Just like I said yesterday, I think, or I keep saying yesterday, but like, the reading, I guess it was like a weekly reading, Gosh, the Six of Cups energy that I was referring to, it you've had to, the past has had to have, you've had to sacrifice a lot in the past, and the way that you're looking at it, or the way that you're being asked to look at it now, is as a sacrifice. Obviously, there's a lot of feelings involved, and the need for forgiveness, but perhaps you're beyond that, because the Ace of Cups is here. So you've started a new relationship, or you're starting new business relationships, relationships that are fulfilling for you emotionally in general. On the other hand, this was such a cool message. Like, okay, the otters tend to carry a stone with them as a tool, and then some otters actually carry the same stone for their entire life. So it is very meaningful. Like, the relationships that you're creating right now are very meaningful. The relationship that you're creating with yourself, recreating and you're realigning with yourself, and that also is transpiring in your reality, in your outside world. Like, you're making better decisions in relationships, and that means better business ties, better business relationships, better financial relationships, and better love type of relationships. Just all sorts of relationships in general are being highlighted to me right now, that it really is a good time for that in your life. You've built trust in yourself, because you realize that what you have been through has taught you so much, and that even though you unfortunately had to suffer a lot, it has now become apparent to you that it was a sacrifice for you to elevate to this stature and status of who you are, all encompassing all the selves, all yourselves. And the warning, oh my gosh, the other intense part for me, before I forget, with the offering, besides Spirit attempting to offer a message and a teacher or guidance for you, there's also a message about carrying tools, or like learning more about your tools. Perhaps, as like the Magician's card, they have a tool set. So it could be a good time to meditate on what tools are in your arsenal now, and what tools you need. But also the message of the otter carrying one stone for their entire lifetime. I just want to mention, like, perhaps there are like gems, or you want a gemstone, or you want a talisman of some sort, or a sacred object, like you want to invest in a tarot card deck, or a oracle deck. Tools like that are also coming to mind. They will help you in your meditation, or to bring those qualities into, perhaps realign the energy in your space to create room for meditation, which alludes to the cave. Oh my gosh. Now I know why Ashuna from Ashuna's Tarot gets so like excited. because like the messages start like pouring in. Okay, before I did the shuffle, the hummingbird, I was like, so the previous message, the previous reading that I did had a lot to do with the throat chakra. And here I noticed, I mentioned before I did the actual shuffle, when I ended the pre-shuffle message, I was noticing and talking about the red in the throat chakra, and the Venom card does refer to, it did come up in the root chakra space, and the red, what I was talking about was the red color. To me, it symbolizes that to me, it means that you've been going to your root chakra to figure out like why you're over talking and overdoing with you're just talking over people, and maybe using your voice again. Like that's one of the advice is to kind of become quiet, and quiet your voice so that you can hear. And that's also a form of meditation. And so all of that is really meaningful when I look at these two cards, the calming the overactive lower vibrational aspects of the throat chakra, realigning and recentering your throat chakra through root chakra work. And a lot of that has to do with past memories, which is the Six of Cups vibe that I was getting, that I was talking about earlier. It could be that you've been using your voice in like you seem aggressive in the way you speak, and your speech seems really toxic to people. And that's why the warning is like, you need to quiet down. The spreading of the venom is like a chain reaction. When we strike others, it is likely we have ourselves been struck. Break the cycle. When you harm another, you harm yourself. Keep in mind this goes for our Earth as well, with cosmic consequences. There's a lot to say about detoxifying the body, learning about your past and how you've been hurt. Also, the cave has a lot to do with the heart chakra, and it's in the heart chakra space. It's perhaps you tend to isolate yourself. That action is attempting to show you that you are very highly attuned, and that's why I was saying that you are you are so much already in the midst of your spiritual transformation, your spiritual metamorphosis, and your spiritual ascension, and your spiritual progression. The need, your desire to like go, do everything and be everything to everyone, and then to isolate is your spirit attempting to send you the message that there are you are sort of refusing to enter that heart chakra sphere, and you are avoiding like you are avoiding the Ace of Cups, the fulfillment that you bring to yourself. That like back and forth, like do everything, be everything to everyone, and then taking only certain like blips of time to like be in solitude. Like it's not working. Like it's not actually working for you. And so there is that need to come into the heart space, create a little bit more distance through detoxifying and removing certain toxic people. When you align your root and your throat centers better, or in a more balanced form, like you may come to see that you don't want to be around certain things or people. And it is more like it's not like a certain someone, it's just certain tendencies that you have, and the result is you going to like a group of people or to like a certain space, or you tend to do certain things, and you convince yourself that it's part of your lifestyle in a way. With the offering, again, it's like a well-rounded message of the spirit attempting to come into contact with you during meditative and quiet states, for you to create practices of generosity or gratitude to begin with. Perhaps some of us don't have that much time or resources to be as generous as we want to be, but a good form to take on would be a gratitude practice in your journal, or every day. Just at the end of the day, your meditative practice could be just writing in your journal about what you're thankful for, or just simply just like talking to spirit or yourself and giving thanks for like things that went right in your day, things that went well for you in your day and in your week, or in general. And then the final message is also like a silence. I just wanted to reference once a week, Gandhi gave up speaking for a day, offering himself to divine silence. The offering can come in all shapes and sizes, which is all of this. Gosh, and the cave, it's like you taking a look at yourself in the mirror and like refilling your cup. You are highly sensitive, okay? You are being beckoned by spirit to seek clarity because they have a message for you and they want to offer you the guidance that you need. And you've asked spirit and you've asked the divine, or you've asked nature to provide to you guidance in your journey and in your waking life, with money, with relationships. You're on the right steps. Now you need to incorporate practices and detoxify and simmer the voice down. Take time out for yourself and stop being so mean to people. Magicians, you're well on your way. Seek out some tools, gemstones, tarot cards, talismans, a journal, as my girl Brittany, the intuitive cosmic wifey, says, a book of shadows. Start a book of shadows. Maybe a therapist will. I love y'all. Keep it real, keep it light. The Fool's journey is exciting. The magician's tool sets are boundless and limitless, and there's so much out there for you to seek. Go within your heart, take a hard look at yourself, and ask yourself if your mentality and your perception are crystal clear. Take time out for yourself and to incorporate practices of gratitude and volunteering and generosity. Keep it light, keep it tight, keep it real. You're on your way up.